At the start, we are shown a girl named Wednesday, and it was her first day at school. She doesn't look like an ordinary girl because of her acts. Reaching school, she opens her locker and finds her brother tied. As she opens her brother and suddenly goes in a deep thought, and she's the boys who tied her brother and moved to them to teach them a lesson, and they were practicing swimming, and she leaves many fishes in the pool that can bite. The boys came out of the pool, but one boy couldn't, and a fish bites his foot, and the school terminates her after her this act. She hasn't done this for the first time, but she got terminated for many schools. That's why her parents were taking her to an academy because the kids like Wednesday read there. The kids who act strangely, and she doesn't want to go there, but she has to. Now we can see the scene of the forest nearby the academy where a hunter comes for hunting. He moves inside the forest and then sits at a place and have tea. Suddenly something attacks him and ends him brutally. Wednesday and her parents reach the academy and go to the principal. The principal was an outcast like Wednesday. Mermaids, werewolves, vampires, witches, and people having magical powers are included in the outcast. The kids like those read in this academy. Wednesday's roommate has colored her room, but Wednesday doesn't like this because she just like black color, and seeing the environment she becomes rude. Then her roommate asks her, is she alright? She asks what happened. Her father replied, my daughter is strange and boring, just consider her an alive corpse. Hearing this from her father, Wednesday starts staring at him. Her roommate was showing her the academy. Meanwhile, a boy arrives and asks for her Facebook ID, but she says, I don't like any social media account because social media is just a disease to rotten your bones, nothing else. Before leaving, Wednesday's mother says, now you will never escape, but she says, I promise you I will soon escape from here. While leaving, her father drops a hand there to spy on Wednesday. In the forest, the police go far an investigation and find the hunter's boy pieces at different places. This didn't happen the first time, but this happens the third time that someone is killed in the forest nearby academy. Wednesday removes all the colorful things from her room and asks her roommate to be silent in the room because this is a time for her to write a novel, but she starts dancing while playing a song. That makes Wednesday furious and she asks her to stop it, and the roommate starts scaring her while showing her paws. As she was a werewolf means half a woman and half a wolf. Then a teacher arrives who was nice and gives Wednesday a flower to welcome her. The next day Wednesday was going somewhere, and the hand her father dropped was watching her secretly. Meanwhile, a statue was about to fall on Wednesday, but a boy named Xavier saves her at the right time. She gets faint in this hustle and bustle, but when she awakes, she asks Xavier, instead of thanking him, that don't hope that I will be thankful to you because you have done wrong while saving me. You stopped my death, but Xavier, say I know you since we were 10 years old. We met. We were playing, then I hid in a coffin and the people were about to set me on fire. But you saved me, and today I saved your life. Wednesday comes to her room and feels something on her bed. As she removes the coil, she sees the hand and captures it, then asks it, who are you and what are you doing here? It says, your father has asked me to spy on you. He dropped me here, but she asks it to work for her from now, and she will keep it imprisoned in her drawer forever. It agrees for this and says, okay, I will help you in all ways. The next day, the principal takes Wednesday to a psychiatrist because her mental balance did not seem well. She makes an excuse and opens the window with the help of hand and runs from there. While running, she collides with a man. In her thought, she sees this man will got into an accident in which he will die brutally, but she doesn't tell that man anything about it because she likes murders and destruction. She goes to a hotel and meets a waiter who was looking worried because his coffee machine got damaged. Wednesday says, I can repair your coffee machine, but in return you have to drop me at the station. He agrees for this and Wednesday repairs his machine. But he asks her to wait and says, we will go after my ship. Wednesday was sitting there and waiting, but then few noisy boys arrived and start teasing her, due to which he becomes furious, so he beats them and teaches them a lesson. Meanwhile, the waiter's father arrives. Seeing the destruction, he asks his son, but he replies nothing. Just those boys were irritating the customers. That's why she taught them a good lesson. Meanwhile, the academy's principal arrives and takes Wednesday while apologizing to them. She becomes furious at her that how she tried to run from the academy, and they see an accident on the way that was of the man with whom Wednesday collided. Seeing it, principal panics and says, I pray nothing would happen to the driver. On it, Wednesday says he is dead and his neck is also broken. And then after reaching the academy, Wednesday starts playing the guitar nicely. The principal and others like it. Her roommate comes to the room and see the hand, so she asks Wednesday that what is this? She replies, this is a member of our Addams family. A stranger boy is shown who tears a page from a book in the library. There was a picture on it. On another side, the hand reaches the waiter's house and he gets scared to see it and beats it. Then the hand points him to sit and give him Wednesday's number and asks him to call her. The waiter calls her and she says there will be a festival in our academy and all the kids will come to this festival and will escape from there, but if you will drop me to the station, I will give you a nice reward. The waiter agrees, but when she goes to the festival, she finds the principal spying on her. She gives money to a man and asks to distract the principal. The waiter arrives and gives her a police record of his father as a gift before she left. That he stole from his father's file because his father was a police officer. She collides with the boy who torn the pages from the book while leaving with the records. After colliding, Wednesday sees thoughts of that boy's death, that he will die after a while. That was terrible. She goes behind him and asks him to stop and don't go into the forest. Your life is in danger and you will die. Meanwhile, he performs his magic and places her on a tree and says, not me, but you are in danger because you yourself is danger. I am saving people from you, and that day I throw the statue on you. After that, he shows her a picture and says, you are in this picture that was made by my mother 25 years ago. It was a time when she reads in this academy, and before dying, she said that I have to stop you, otherwise you will destroy the whole wide world along with this academy. He was about to end Wednesday, but a huge monster attacks him and ends him brutally. After it, Wednesday is shown in her room because she has left the intention of escaping from there. There were many questions in her mind, that how is she a danger for this world and why that monster shaved her. There was a police report against her father and which he was allocated for a murder. The next day the police officer arrives because Wednesday reported that she saw a stranger boy's death, but the police don't find any proof for that body. So they ask Wednesday what was she doing in the forest at night. She says, I saw that boy moving to the forest, and when I chased him, I saw a monster ending him. After it, I get faint, and the principal immediately says that boy is not murdered, but he ran from here. That's why you should not believe on Wednesday's word, because she often go through from those fits. We are giving her treatment and she will be fine soon. She says to the officer there is someone in the jungle who is ending everyone. When the principal left, it was ended that the boy, meanwhile, that boy arrives who was alive and safe and sound. The next day, the doctor asked Wednesday that did you spread this rumor just to cover their attention on you? That means you have seen that boy dying, but she says, I know What I have been seen this. No need to tell you. The next day she discovers that boy is being terminated from this academy without any reason. She sends her companion that hand behind him. Wednesday takes part in an activity as the principal asked her, and for this purpose he joins a club. There is a boy with him and she becomes his friend. The hand moves behind that boy and sees that he is changing his getup. Firstly, he changes into an old man and then Academy's principal. After it, the hand tells this to Wednesday. The class was about to start and Xavier asks her to sit on the seat nearby him. So she sits with him. Xavier was making a spider's picture and then revives it with his magic. But Wednesday ends it in a jug and below it ashes. Then there was an argument between a girl and Wednesday because they both don't like each other. And after it, Wednesday sends her roommate to the club instead of her where she was practicing the activity. She alone moves to the forest nearby Academy to find out the monster. Wednesday finds broken glasses of that stranger boy, the boy whom she saw dying by the monster. As she touches it, she sees a book and she moves to the library to find it, but there she didn't find any book like it and she secretly moved into Xavier's room because that boy and Xavier live in the same room and the Wednesday's hand were finding the book. Xavier arrives and because of it they hide under the bed and the villain girl arrives. Xavier and asks why is he angry with her. Okay, don't be angry and let us solve this matter. But he refused, and on his refusal, the villain girl thinks that he is doing the cause of Wednesday. So she says, "Tomorrow I will destroy your friends, including Wednesday." Wednesday and the hand who were hiding under the bed hears this. Returning to the room, Wednesday says to her roommate that I will also participate in tomorrow boat race and I will defeat that proudy girl, villain girl at any cost. The next day, the race starts, and it was told there is no law or rule of this competition. The team who will bring the flag first from the cave, it will be the winner. Right after it, the game starts, and the villain play hard tricks and breaks a team's boat with the help of her mermaid friend. Due to it, the team fall in the water, and when the mermaid was coming to Wednesday's boat, the hand trapped her in the net before this, and only three teams reached the shore. So, what do you think that they will be alive or not? Comments, and I hope you like this video and subscribe for more parts, and part 2 will be available soon on my channel. So be tuned with us, subscribe.